Welcome to another episode of Broncos HQ. I'm your host and team reporter, Elisa Hernandez, next to the Hall of Famer, Steve Atwater. It was a happy flight across the pond for the Broncos as they enter Week 6 after a spectacular comeback statement win over the Eagles. They now turn their attention to the New York Jets as the Broncos are in London for the week and will play in Tottenham Stadium. How do you see this team building from their Week 5 win?
Well, I know they're on cloud nine from this win. Beating the champions is always a big thing, you know, and the teams that can beat them, I think, get an extra boost of confidence from that. And also, looking at where we are in the season, we're going into our, sixth game? Mm-hmm. And we should be hitting our stride about now. So coming off a good win, beating a good football team, we need to be hitting on all cylinders this week here against the New York Jets.
We've talked about mindset, especially coming off of a short week, going to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. But now it's a new mindset because you're traveling across the pond. You're playing an international game from Denver. It is 7 hours ahead. So how do you stay focused from that perspective of just making sure your routine stays in place and make sure that they don't get off balance as they go into try to get this win on Sunday?
Well, Sean Payton, you know, he's always on top of things, and he knows exactly what the schedule needs to be to make sure that the guys will be ready to go on Sunday. And the thing that the players have to do more than anything else is just not underestimate what the New York Jets can do just because they haven't won a game so far this year. They're anxious to win a football game, and they're going to give it the best that they have. So we got to make sure that, hey, we're over there, we're having a good time, we're doing all that, but we got to be ready to play come game time.
And speaking of this matchup, you have Bo Nix, who is coming off of two great back-to-back games. You have Justin Fields, who, although the record doesn't show his performance on the field, this past week, he had over 200 yards passing. He had 0 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. And I feel like this defense is still going to have to put pressure on him because he is a mobile quarterback. And the Broncos saw him last season when he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And obviously that win went his way. So they want to make sure that they get after him fast, right?
Yeah, he was a first-round pick as a quarterback. And I know everybody on our team has seen him play for whether it's the Chicago Bears or a different team, and knows that this guy is super mobile. Mm-hmm. He's actually a very accurate quarterback as well. So you can't take anything for granted. You got to assume that he's going to come out there and have the best game of the year and prepare for it, just like you're preparing for the best quarterback in the NFL right now. And, you know, got to be on all P's and Q's.
Yeah, definitely need to have the same approach. This past Sunday, the Broncos defense had 6 sacks, 8 QB hits, 9 passes defended. Nick Bonito is first in the NFL in sacks. You mentioned that on our podcast, Altitude Advantage. Make sure you guys stream it. And he's also first in NFL pressures. I mean, when you have to get after a mobile quarterback like that, it kind of helps, in my opinion, that you just saw Jalen Hurts, because now you have Justin Fields coming who can attack you with his legs and find open receivers. He does have Garrett Wilson and Mason Taylor on his offense as well.
Oh yeah, he got some weapons out there, and you know, I feel very confident in our cornerbacks. They're going to do a good job. PS2, Riley Moss, but it's going to be vital that, just like we did last week, that we keep Justin Fields in the pocket. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't let him run outside the pocket and have, you know, all this space to work with. Mm-hmm. Then he gets very dangerous. You keep him boxed up inside the pocket, and we got guys filling from the inside. I think, you know, it'll make things much easier for us. And at the end of the day, we'll come out with the victory.
You know, when you look at this matchup as well, they just came off a game where they had to contain Saquon Barkley. And now Breece Hall is another running back that we have talked about in terms of his performance. This past week, I believe he had 14 carries for 113 yards. The Broncos defense, I believe, has been really great against the rush. How do you see them being able to prepare for not only the quarterback, but for that running back as well?
Yeah, well, we've been having some good success versus the run game, and I feel confident that we'll be able to do that. But like you said, you can't take it for granted, though. You still got to put the work in. Mm-hmm. Breece Hall has had some success on us in the past, and I've always said that I feel like when a team has had success against you in the past, or if you've had success against a team in the past, you're a little bit more confident going into that game that you can repeat what you did. So we want to make sure that we nip that in the bud early, make sure that he knows that every time you touch this ball, we're going to put it on you.
And Bo Nix, what do you expect from him as he goes into this matchup? 2 great back-to-back games where he's really been dealing, especially to different receivers.
Yeah, well, I expect him to continue leading, to continue, being accurate, continue making the right choices with the football. He's the leader of this football team, and everybody knows that. All the defensive players, offensive players, special teams players, even though he's a second-year guy, he still has great leadership qualities and, makes very good decisions. So I think this is going to be another stepping stone for him to increase his confidence and show himself that, hey, I'm one of the greatest in the game right now.
Well, looking ahead to game day, we're actually going to check in with our lead writer, Aric DiLalla, who was in London and had a chance to catch up with the team.
Here just off the pitch with Broncos right tackle Mike McGlinchey. Mike, what's it been like being out here in London, being at Tottenham Hotspur training ground?
I mean, it's pretty cool. This campus is gorgeous. Like, you realize how big of a deal the EPL is. It's probably the NFL's equivalent across the world in terms of the gravity of the league and what it produces and what it means to people. And they've been so welcoming to us. I mean, the grass is perfect. The accommodations have been great, and it's pretty cool to see a different country for the first time playing football, which is really, really, really neat.
Let's start by going back to last week. Big win in Philly, obviously kind of a homecoming for you. Yeah. What did it mean for this team to be able to go get this win in the way that you did it by coming back by 14 points in the fourth quarter?
Well, I think it was huge. Philly's a hard place to win, hard place to play, and it's certainly with the team that they have in this year and being the defending champs, that win means a lot. It's going to go down as one of the better regular season wins I've ever been a part of. Coming back the way that we did was unbelievable. It shows the toughness and the fight in our group. I think we executed well down the stretch. I think Coach called a hell of a game down the stretch, and obviously the defense played great all day, keeping us in it. So we wouldn't have had that opportunity without the defense dominating there. And, very thankful to get that win, and hopefully it propels us as we go forward here.
Sean talks a lot about confidence coming from demonstrated ability. Yep. Do you guys get some of that from a win like that?
I don't know how you wouldn't. I think so, 100%.
Turning your attention to this week, we've heard that the focus has to reset, can't stay on that win against Philly. How do you do that? How do you turn the page? What's your role in helping make sure that guys turn their attention to the Jets?
Well, I don't think other than, being in a different country, we're together all day. We've been doing football all day. There's not much distraction outside of playing football, and I think it's easy to get into the routine here. It's awesome to be able to hang out with your teammates all day long. It feels a little bit like college again, and it's a great opportunity for us to keep our foot on the gas pedal in the season that we want to have.
Talk about the foot on the gas pedal. This run game has really gotten going early in the season. What's going to be the key to keeping that going this week?
It's just playing complementary football. It takes all 11 guys to run the football well. We need to be great on first down. We need to be great on third down to be able to afford the opportunities to keep running the ball. Our defense needs to play great and keep them, keep themselves in front of the chains and keep the other offense off the field. And just affording those opportunities when they get called to make sure that we're doing our job and getting yards every time we call one and just playing as hard as we can.
Mike, this Jets team, they're 0-5, but they've had 3 one-score losses. What's the mentality when you face a team like that you know is going to be hungry to try to get their first win of the year?
Well, desperate teams always win in this league. I think we're pretty desperate to be great. I think they're ready to get their first win, so it should be a great matchup. There's no team in the NFL that you can take lightly, especially this group that we got. There's talent all over their roster, especially on the defensive front for my job, So it's a huge week for us, and we got a great opportunity to try and beat a good football team.
Last one for you, Mike. Obviously, once the game starts, you're locked in, but do you take a second when you're at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday to soak it all in and think about where the NFL's taken you over the years?
Absolutely. Football has been the greatest gift that my life's ever received. I wouldn't have the best friends that I have. I wouldn't have met my wife. All this, you can go down the list. But cool experiences is definitely part of the deal here, and this is definitely going to be at the top of it. And I'm excited to see the English fandom has to offer, and we're excited to see it on Sunday.
The NFL is hosting 7 international games this year, the most in NFL history. 3 of the games happening in London between Wembley Stadium and Tottenham. The Broncos last played in London in 2022 and left with a win. The Broncos will have their 3rd regular season appearance in London, with this being their first appearance at Tottenham Stadium. How much are you looking forward to this game?
Man, I'm looking forward to it so much because in a game like this, both teams could have quite a few distractions, having to travel the long distance, get accustomed to the time zone over there, and then also, hey, you got to play an NFL football game that counts. This is not the preseason. Back when I played, we played a few times in some international games, but they were all in the preseason. We didn't play any of those games during the regular season where they really counted. So these games count, so we got to be ready to go.
You talked about playing international. What is that experience like? Because for some of these guys, it is their first international game. But when you go out there, you see the different jerseys in the stands. You see Broncos country traveling worldwide. You see Broncos fans with different accents just coming to watch you guys play. What kind of motivation does that give?
It gives a ton of motivation, and it shows the players just how much this sport of football is loved. The NFL is loved all over the world, and it just gives you a small taste of how big the game is, how big the fans are, and how avid they are. You're going to see they are avid, and like I said, they'll have on jerseys from just about every team in the NFL, and Broncos country is well represented internationally, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
What is one of your favorite memories of your international experience?
Still, it had to be, I believe it was in Tokyo when Terrell Davis ran down and made the tackle on the kickoff team. And, that was really, we had seen him in practice.
Yeah.
He was practicing hard. He's doing really well. But that really elevated him to, that was just the start of him becoming one of the greatest running backs of all time. And that was one of my special moments, seeing him run down and take out the player from the 49ers.
Well, before we head out across the pond, it's time for our Hall of Famer to pick his dark horse of the game, the player he feels will have an impact in Week 6 versus the Jets. Last week, you went with Troy Franklin, who had a crucial 2-point conversion. So, Steve, who is it this week?
Surprise, surprise, J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. I'm going the two-headed monster there. I think both of these guys are going to have big games. They've been getting better and better each week. This may be the breakout week for both of them. They're running extremely hard. Offensive line is blocking well for them. And the Jets have had a few holes in their run game. So I'm looking forward to them having a big week and bringing back the dub.
All right, well, that will do it for this edition of Broncos HQ. I'm your host and team reporter, Elisa Hernandez, next to the Hall of Famer, Steve Atwater. A reminder, the Broncos are across the pond in the UK, and kickoff time versus the Jets is at 7:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Make sure you get your coffee to tune in, and we will see you next time.